Hey guys.
Hi.
So, you guys did the reading last night, right?
Yeah.
Interesting stuff. Yeah. So, what we're gonna be, the thing about The Road is it's a post-apocalyptic novel. So, who's read The Hunger Games? Who's read those books? Yeah. Like that, bad things are happening in the world, but there's no sexy love triangle to work with. This is a lot more intense than that. I'd like to read a passage to you guys, see what you get your thoughts on. It's gonna be a little weird because it doesn't, you probably noticed the grammar doesn't fit right with what you've been taught, it's a little different. So let's see what you guys think. This is 2 pages in, so you guys don't have to remember that much. They passed through the city at noon the following day. He kept the pistol to his hand on the folded tarp. He kept the boy close to his side. The city was mostly burned. No sign of life. Cars in the street caked, mostly burned, covered in ash. Fossil tracks, dried sludge. A corpse in the doorway, dried to leather. Grimacing at the day, he pulled the boy closer just to remember that the things you put in your head are there forever, he said. You might want to think about that. You forget some things, don't you? Yes. You forget what you want to remember, and you remember what you want to forget. And that is typical McCarthy. Just a very short word, not much happens, but when you think about it, a lot happens. So what do you guys think? Any thoughts? Anything that strikes you?
That last sentence where you remember what you want to forget and you forget what you want to remember, it like seems that there's like a lot of mental conflict going on with him.
Yeah. Yeah, why do you say that?
Because like
Is it the fact that the world's burned to the ground? Is that what's going on?
that's definitely part of it. But yeah, so maybe he just can't really wrap his head around like how to process what just happened.
Yeah. And the boy, he's only 7 years old, and he's seeing bodies everywhere. What kind of toll does that have on a kid? Is that a world you even want to live in? Does that occur to anyone?
It's like he feels like the only living thing left on Earth that he's surrounded by these dried out corpses that are not even fresh. They're like old corpses.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyone else? What about?
It really kind of like sets the scene and the tone. Like you have this like fossilized tire tracks, and you really get the
Right.
picture of what's happening in the first 2 pages.
Right. Could I have read that in a different tone, do you think? Do you think I could have taken it? Here, do you think I could say something like, they passed through a city at noon the following day, and he kept the pistol close to the folded tarp, yada yada. Do you think I could be happy about this? The language speaks for itself, right? What were you gonna say?
I was just saying it wouldn't be as convincing, or it wouldn't paint the same picture as if you read it in a different tone.
Right. Right. And what about the way I read it? I mean, you'll have your books in this, but the periods are out of place. Half the sentences are fragments. I mean, when you give a paper to me, you can't do that. And you really don't do that. But in a book like this, it's powerful, right? What effect does that have when you have these little short blurbs of very insightful thought?
It's just that everything is broken and nothing is smooth, and it's sort of like the shattered feeling of the
Exactly. Yeah.
The pauses like really make you like think about it so much more too. So like,
Mm-hmm.
It kind of just makes us uncomfortable because it's not what we've been taught, it's not what we were learning, so even just hearing you say it, what kind of made me uncomfortable, because I was like, and I think that's his point, is like the situation is uncomfortable, so as a reader, perhaps the easiest way to reach us is by the sentence structure.
Right. You move some sort of like a free prose into like a free verse poetry almost. Did you guys get that feel for it? Here's a question I actually want to pose to you guys. He's showing these little boy these corpses, and instead of sheltering it from him, he says, remember the things you see that are in your head, you're going to remember. You think that's the right way to handle his kid?
I don't think he has the luxury of coddling him, because it's post-apocalyptica. So like, you can't like put up some curtains and a vase of flowers and make it look
But he's
nice.
challenging him to decide whether he wants to see the body or not. Say, you get to decide, do you want to remember this body or not? Do you think a kid deserves that much agency?
I think that he knows that it doesn't matter. He's gonna see plenty of bodies. It's like giving the kid a choice. You know, do you want to go to the doctor today or tomorrow? He's going to the doctor.
Right. Yeah. Good point.
I think like things are only gonna get worse too. Like there's no way things can get that much better. in that type of situation. So it's kind of like almost like a challenge to the kid to just be like, no, you gotta be ready for all this kind of stuff. Like, this is what's going on. If he shelters them, then the kid's not gonna make it through.
Right. What about the kid's response? That jump at you at all? He sees the body in the doorway, it's melted to a train, he goes, you can forget some things, right?
Clearly it was something he didn't want to see. He would have preferred not to see.
Not to see. So you took that as he was scared at that point. He was actually rattled. Okay. Anyone else have a different reading of that? 5. Okay, cool.